Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Viviendo Life podcast. Here
Hi,
we are.
everybody. Hello.
And today we're going to start off with a song. A ver if you recognize it. Who is this band? ¿Quién es este grupo? Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about me and you.
Who sings it?
I'll give you a hint. They're the same people that sing Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls.
Oh, TLC?
Actually, it was not the same person. It was not the same person. So Salt and Pepper is the one that sings "Let's Talk About Sex, Baby," and TLC. I thought they were the same.
Yeah. No.
They seem like they're the same. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't
Anyway,
even know Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper is the one that sings that song.
I don't even know
famous
who
for
they
talking
are.
about, and that's what we're talking about today: sex. El sexo. Shh, cállate porque si no te van a oír los niños. Nah, just kidding.
Make sure your kids don't look at this.
Yeah, make
Don't
sure your
watch
kids.
it.
This is not appropriate for kids. Nah, just kidding. Yeah, 18 and over. 18 and over. Now it's funny because it's such a taboo. People don't like to talk about it because it's just like something that's been so secretive. We've asked. Let me start off by asking the question. Te voy a hacer una pregunta. ¿Cuántas veces oíste a tus papás hacer el sexo or hacer el amor? Because we're going to explain that too. ¿Cuántas veces escuchaste eso?
Never.
Ninguna. So we have secret sexers. Secret sexers. Now ask me how many times I've heard my parents.
How many times have you heard your parents?
At least twice or three times. It was probably like the sounds of like strangling a chicken kind of thing.
Shut up.
Very fast.
Babe, no.
Very fast, yes. I remember vividly my brothers and us laughing, and we knew what was going down. You know, it was definitely makeup sex because it was rough and crazy and fast. I mean, they're not seen. Thank you, Lord. That would actually traumatize a kid, right? That'll probably traumatize a kid, but it was heard of. It was heard. It was like that's one of the best.
I don't think you should talk
It
about
was
your
it was
parents
heard
like that.
around the world. Not just kidding. Not just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's such a crazy thing for kids to hear But it's funny though because that's so many things to talk about this topic, right? Like the best times. I mean, if it's in the early in the morning, you know, how could your kids not hear it? You know what I mean? It's just depending. You know what I mean? So the beds, your bed can be the firmest bed in the world, but all of a sudden it becomes the weakest when you're making love. You go from like Ashley furniture to IKEA horrible furniture making noise.
Oh my god.
Right, because then the cracks, the ¿cómo se llama?
Are we really gonna talk about it?
Yeah, no, we're talking about this today, and I'm not scared. I'm not scared to talk about sex because it's always one of those things too. Like the men, obviously, we connect more through sex. Obviously, women are more like it's okay if you know they do need it, but it's not like the close to the top of the list. We've talked about the needs of men, and number two is like sex. Number one is respect and honor.
Mhm.
For women, sex is like number 13 or something. It's like not on the list of priorities at all.
Not at all.
Not at all, right? But
Mm-mm.
it's funny though. Would you say also you become more sexual active as you're older, younger? What's the age peak? Because we can only speak to people that are around 40, 20s, 30s, 40s.
But what was the question?
When's the sexual peak? When do you think is more like? Is there more intentional sex? I'm sorry. What's more? Where's the most intense sex that you've had?
I would probably say late 30s.
Okay.
I mean, everybody's different, but
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell you because when I got married to you, I was virgin, so I don't,
Yeah.
and we got married really young, 19. So you've
We're super
always,
young.
you've been my first, and
Yeah. You haven't had sexual partners. I've had very few before, prior to being a Christian and everything.
yeah. So I wouldn't.
Yeah. So okay, I got it. But I was
But
more
I
asking
mean, like right now, I think it's better.
better than obviously because when you're a kid, obviously when you're 20, 21 and stuff, it's like I don't think you appreciate more from speaking not only sex but turn it into making love. You know what I mean? Where it's a passionate, more both involved. And there's so many things we're going to talk about today. But one of the things I was going to mention is we're obviously talking about sex in marriage, right? Because sex out of marriage is out of place. That's what we truly believe. I think that people invest way too much emotionally when they have sex before marriage. So, I mean, that is sex. It's just like a passionate lust kind of thing. No, we're talking about sex between the way that God intended it in a marriageable relationship. And obviously, I think everybody has heard of Hebrews 13, that talks about let marriage be held in honor among all. Let marriage bed be undefiled. Other basically undefiled means that there's no other infiltration, anything that it should just be pure. It should be pure,
Yeah.
like it was in Adam and Eve. They were just basically together, intimate, loved each other, because the sexual immoral God will judge, right? So that's a whole different topic, right? So it's really the topic is sex because it's clickbait, but really we're talking more about making love, making love. So the expression making love, like if you're
Mhm.
making something, creating
Mhm.
a bar out of things. So but going back to what we were talking about earlier, that it's so secretive. Like, do you think a married couple has to make more time for intentional sex, or it just happens like planned, scheduled? What do you think?
No, I think we have to make time.
Hmm.
We have to be intentional about it.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, obviously así de la nada, it's nice too. Pero you have to make time now, especially if you have kids. Kids, si tienes niños, tienes que tratar de hacer cuando, no estén alrededor.
yeah, you have to make time, of course.
Sí, sí, sí.
Yeah, for
Sí.
sure. I mean, it's
But
not healthy for your kids to hear it. You know what I mean? But they also had. I mean, they're not dumb. I'm
no,
sure
cuando
they
ya
know.
están a una
I'm sure it
edad,
knows.
yeah, it's,
Yeah,
pero obviamente no tienes que dejar which
yeah,
is normal because
yeah,
están, si lo estás haciendo en tu matrimonio, es normal que pase, va a
yeah.
pasar, pero I don't think it's right. It's,
Yeah, I also don't believe that people, when they get married and stuff and they have little kids, then they have them in the same room. And then after, like, the kid goes growing up, he's already 6 or 8, and he's already listening to his parents have sex. I also don't think that's very healthy.
correcto.
Their parents having sex. I mean,
O
definitely not.
cuando tienen a los niños durmiendo en el mismo cuarto,
Yeah,
ya a
sí.
una edad muy grande,
Ya es necesario
5, 6,
separarlos.
7 años.
Sí.
No, it's not healthy.
Sí, because obviously el muchachito starts getting erected and hormones.
No, 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 no,
Oh, is that
no,
why?
no,
No, I was
no,
saying that too because.
no, pero
Oh, you
no
mean
neces
sleeping in the same bed?
no,
What are you talking about?
no, que están los papás en su cama y el niño está en su cama, pero en el mismo cuarto.
Oh, en el mismo cuarto. Sí, 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 sí. Definitivamente deberían de separarlos.
Sí,
Yeah.
porque como matrimonio necesitan su tiempo,
Sí, sí.
Eso no es algo sano.
Y despierta algo en los niños que no se debe despertar antes de su tiempo. Then you hear que niños que andan buscando eso cuando nunca ni saben de lo que buscan. Solo porque vieron a alguien hacerlo. You know what I mean? So, interesting, interesting. So, I feel like I wonder if a lot of people watch it and they're like, I don't understand the Jairo because he's speaking in English, and then some people don't understand you because you're speaking in Spanish. Algunos no te
Mm.
entienden porque están hablando en español. But setting the mood, setting the mood. Let's talk about how. Do you think that the man has to prep most of the mood?
Both?
Both, a little bit
Yeah.
of both.
Yeah, it has to be
Yeah,
teamwork.
you also got to watch out what you say. Like you can literally, like, totally kill the mood by something you say, right? For both sides, both sides, both sides. What would be
True.
something that a woman could say that would kill the mood?
Oh, I don't know. That's you. Are you asking me?
What would it be?
I don't know.
Okay, so you want me to answer it?
Like what would it be something that it
It
will
might get a
kill
little
that
too personal here. It
that
might get a
you
little too
will
personal.
say that it'll kill my mood?
Yeah. What would be something that would kill the mood? I'm sorry. I need to learn as a podcaster to ask better questions. My questions are like.
I don't know.
No. Think of any mood killers. I think
I have a
just
cramp.
just I know what happened.
I have a leg cramp.
I have a leg cramp. Yeah, que me dio un calambre. Que me dio un calambre. Yeah, that could be a mood
Wait,
killer.
me dio calambre.
Hold on, me dio un calambre. That might just happen to us. There might be somebody watching us be like, you guys are not physically in shape to be getting cramps. I don't know. There's so many other ones that might be a little too personal, right? But mood killers for sure are just, I would say, es cuando, uno está apurando al otro.
Uh-huh.
Uno está apurando al otro. Like the other one's just, hurry up, finish. You know what I mean? Or hurry up, do this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I learned this, obviously, sex being a taboo and stuff. I've learned this that the men, if there's any men watching us on here, I would highly, highly advise you to let your woman have an orgasm way more times than you do. Because us men, most of us are like one shot cannons. Once we're done, we're done. We're done. We're ready. It's done. It's done. It's literally like for us, it's crazy because you guys can constantly have orgasms over and over, but us, it may be like, and it's not all men. Don't quote me. Men are different. Some men are different, but once a man ejaculates, and you could say I'm very comfortable about this topic, right? Once a man ejaculates, done. It's like an adrenaline rush, and that's it. You know what I mean? And then after, it might come back 10 minutes later, he might be ready again, and there's other men that are ready 2 hours later after they ate, and had a little rest. You know what I
A
mean?
little nap.
Yeah, we'll take a little nap and we'll get back after these. Después de estos cortes comerciales, we'll be back. And I'm just kidding.
But what do
Such
you,
a funny topic.
but what do you think it's such a taboo en la iglesia?
It's a
Especialmente en la
huge
iglesia.
en la
¿Por
iglesia,
qué a
en el
la
mundo
gente no le gusta
cristiano,
hablar de eso?
no les gusta hablar de sexo. I think it tiene que ver mucho con religión, too, religion. It's just like lo miran como algo sucio. Ay, no, hablando del sexo es malo, no hablen de eso, hablemos de otra cosa mejor. Cuando es algo puro.
¿Por qué les incomoda?
I don't know. No sé por qué la sexualidad le incomoda a la gente. Why would it be? Déjanos en los comentarios por qué este tema es tan incómodo. It's just because, like, I think it has to do with, like, for example, your parents. You never ever heard them, right? So that means that they weren't very sexually active, one. Or two, they were super sexually active but very secretive. Or they had planned and it was very respectful in a way. And obviously, we're going to talk about how both should also feel respected in the marriage bed, right? Like they should both feel comfortable with what they're doing. So I know there's a lot of questions about, oral sex and all that stuff. But I think as long as both están de mutuo acuerdo, como dice la Biblia, si los dos caminarán dos si no están de acuerdo. So they both have to be in the same page para sentir algo bonito, ¿va? Because yo no voy a hacer algo que te incomoda a ti o algo que me incomoda a mí, ¿va? And not letting the marriage bed be undefiled is obviously, I think couples, there's things that infiltrate from outside, whether it's pornography, whether it's thoughts of lust or adding a partner. And you hear this stuff now that people are just like, oh, let's add a partner or something, you know what I mean? And to the world, it seems to be like something like that excites them in their marriage. But no, God says, let the marriage bed be undefiled. Like, in other words, one man and one woman and together, in unity. So,
Puede ser que tal vez como decimos, ¿verdad? Porque el mundo lo ha puesto muy, ¿cómo te diría? Algo que no es, no sé cómo explicarlo.
Satanás lo ha trastocado, definitivamente.
Esa es la palabra.
Lo ha trastocado. He's made it something dirty when it's not dirty. It was something made pure in Adam and
Y
Eve.
como decimos,
Adam and Eve in the garden.
en el matrimonio,
Sí, en el matrimonio.
definitivamente.
Fuera del matrimonio, that's why it's just like a lot of people, and obviously there's a connection entre las almas cuando dos personas tienen sexo. So that's why
Antes del matrimonio.
mucha gente está bien conectada, you know what I
Está
mean? Like,
atada.
yeah, lo hemos visto en tantos casos, va. I think that they also get connected. There's something called soul ties where they also get connected deep with other people. And then after, like, después cuando esa persona quebra su alma, then they're still connected to that person. Hemos visto de muchachas de que son normales, tranquilas, obedientes a su mamá. All of a sudden they have sex with their boyfriend. De repente they're like completely cambia su relación con su mamá.
Sí.
¿Por qué? Porque el muchacho era bien rebelde con su mamá. So, you know what I mean? So something changes in there. Obviously, there's a soul connection, right? And it's incredible, just physical body, like a lot of people also when like they're young, you know how they're saving themselves for marriage, right? So we have a Christian couple, they're saving themselves for marriage. They have time to prep. They both have time to shower, and it's going to be a beautiful experience. They can put a little Marvin Gaye in the background because we're talking about setting the mood, No, se está poniendo alabemos de Marcos Witt, cuando estás haciendo el amor. You're going to put on some Marvin Gaye. What else? Michael Bublé. What else?
Yeah, definitely.
So you're like, aren't you guys Christian pastors and you guys listen to that? Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, you're setting the mood. You know what I mean? And there's songs that are made for that. It really is, right?
Yeah.
So, speaking of songs, Song of Solomon, el libro de los cantares. Very erotic, muy erótico. ¿Cómo fue el chiste que dije con tu prima? Dije, estábamos hablando de la comida. Estábamos hablando de la comida.
Estabas viendo los dulces.
Yo estaba viendo los dulces. Y le digo, yo siempre como bien simple. Como bien simple, me gusta lo mismo. Los chocolates, cookies and cream. I was like, la Jamie's más erótica. I meant to say exótica en la manera que lo que come, right? She eats, right?
That's right, I am.
So erótica, she was like, I am erótica. That's funny.
We
That's funny.
started cracking
Yeah,
up.
that's hilarious. We started cracking up. So erótica en vez de exótica. Exótica means like, yeah, pero
Sí, pero no, es tremendo, ¿verdad? Porque definitivamente tiene que ser todo en el matrimonio, ¿verdad?
yeah,
Y en el matrimonio, pues no se tiene que ver que el sexo es algo malo, porque hay muchas esposas que no quieren mantener eso en su matrimonio porque piensan que están pecando,
yeah, yeah,
¿verdad? O piensan que al tocar a su esposo o unos cariñitos, un besito aquí, ellas se sienten que están pecando,
yeah, yeah.
¿verdad?
Como
Obvio,
habíamos dicho, con los dos está mutuo acuerdo, then they're okay, it's okay.
sí,
As
sí,
long as
sí.
everybody's in a mutual agreement.
Sí, definitivamente. Ahora sí hay algo que pasó en el pasado con esa persona, con el hombre, con la mujer, que pasó algo y les está impidiendo, ¿verdad? A poder llevar una vida sexual alegre en su matrimonio. Tienen que tratar de sanar esas heridas,
Mm,
porque puede dañar el matrimonio.
sí, sí,
You know, como tú dices, el hombre está pues tiene esa necesidad sexual, ¿verdad? Entonces, como mujeres tenemos que tratar de mantener al hombre feliz en esa área, ¿verdad? De sus
mm,
vidas, ¿verdad? Porque entonces no queremos que terminen haciendo otras cosas que no son agradables,
es
¿verdad?
correcto.
Entonces, es algo que se tiene que hablar con libertad en la iglesia. Dude.
Yeah,
Se tiene que hablar con libertad en cultos de matrimonios o hablarlo antes de que una pareja se vaya a casar, hablarlo con la pareja para ver exactamente en qué cree cada uno de ellos. Es algo que se tiene que hablar.
yeah, y tal vez, obviamente con una pareja nueva, it's funny because muchos de los jóvenes les digo, el día de tu matrimonio, the day you're getting married, te voy a dar muchos consejos, ¿verdad? Acerca de cómo hacer el amor con tu esposa, because it's really important. I mean, it's really important. They have no idea what to do. You know what I mean? Because they're so new at it. So obviously, make her feel satisfied. Going back to como una mujer puede tener múltiples orgasms. Um, ella tiene que terminar varias veces. She has to finish various times. What's a good average? I would say 2 to 3 times. I'd say 2 to 3 is probably good. Yeah. You think after 3 is like a good cutoff time? The interesting thing is that que pueden tener multiple orgasms, right? Why do you think God left it like that? Why did he allow? Why wasn't it like kind of like men, like more like one, and then after recharge?
No, I
Why do
think
you guys have like why
I guess just because the way we are created.
created? Yeah,
Like, I mean, as far as our
yeah,
reproductive system,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
easier.
yeah. And I think this is something really interesting. But you guys are receivers and we're givers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, man gives a seed and woman receives it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was meant for that. We recently heard of a couple, like the guy got upset. He was like, "Man, how did my wife get pregnant?" I'm like, "Well, if you're not using
Oh, wait, what?
if you're not using birth
It's
control,
like,
why would you get upset? Obviously, you're giving and she's gonna receive. You know what I mean? Like,
isn't like that episode of Friends que
yeah, like
Ross
wait a minute. Like Ross is like, wait, the condoms, 99%. They
99.9.
should put that on the box. It's like they do put it on the box. It's 99%.
And then Joey's like, wait, what?
Yeah, that has got to be one of the most funniest episodes ever. That's hilarious.
It is
He had
hilarious.
no idea that possibly condoms do not work. Like there's a 1% chance that they don't work.
Oh my God.
That's crazy though. Yeah,
Yeah, but
no, but that's actually true though. A lot of guys don't know that there's 99% chance
there's
that it might
99.
break or something.
Nothing is 100% secure. Nothing.
That is crazy.
Nothing.
It's
It's
crazy.
always 99.9.
Yeah.
Even like when cuando los esposos se operan o las esposas se operan, there's still a 99.9 chance
Yeah.
that you can still, después de operarte.
Even when a woman.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Hold on. Wait. So you're saying there's a chance the other way?
Oh
Wait,
my
are you for real right
god, babe! Your
now? Okay, I
face.
did not know that. I did not know
You
that.
should have seen your face. You were like,
What? Hold on. Hold on a second. So we're learning something about this podcast right now. We're learning something. So you're saying when a woman gets operated, which is our case, right? You're operated. Uh, that's a whole nother story for another day. Do you want to touch? Should we tell it now? No. I was gonna do it. But
but
I was busy with work, and she just decided
oh,
to do
that's
it.
such a lie.
Decided to
That
do
is
it.
such a lie. I was busy with work. Whatever,
I
dude.
had something going on in my life. I can't remember what it was.
But I had something going
Oh my
on.
God.
You didn't want to do it.
People are writing in the comments like, he's such a bastard.
Yes, you didn't want to do
It's
it.
because of my brother
I was
Ivan. It's
busy.
because of my brother in Canada. He did a vasectomy, is that what you call it? Vasectomy, yeah. And they literally, is that what they call it, man? Vasectomy? I think so.
Yeah.
He did a vasectomy and they bullied him to death. Like, oh, you know,
Don't
ya
say
te
it.
quitaron
Don't
los
say it.
compadres.
Don't
Te
say
quitaron los
it.
compadres. You know, you're spayed, you're neutered. I'm not going to say nothing else, but I was saying you're spayed and you're neutered. I do have a filter in my mouth, Jamie. I do.
I don't know.
So you're saying there's still a chance that you can get pregnant? So, yeah.
I mean, I don't think at this point because it's been a while now, obviously, but you never know. I mean, if it's God's will, it's God's will. Pero you never know. A veces con las operaciones siempre no son 100%.
I didn't even do any research, but do they tie the tubes? No, that's not how it works with you guys, right?
Los míos lo quemaron.
Oh, they burn them? Okay. All right. Well, hopefully the doctor burned them off well.
Yeah.
We're not looking to have any kids. We're not looking to have any kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, our friend,
But
our friend, remember our friends, they're like in their 40s and they had a baby. Like
Yeah.
they weren't expecting. They're like, what? How? What in the world? Wait, hold up. What?
I knew a guy that from work, remember, at the hotel?
Yeah.
That he se operó and then tuvieron a una
They still had a
nena.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the doctor was like, this happens, it's so rare that it happens, but it happens.
Oh man. Well, I mean, they should also guarantee the thing. Do they
Nothing
sue? Do they
guarantees.
sue? Do they sue?
You can't, no, because
Can you sue the doctor if you get
no,
pregnant?
because I'm sure when you sign it, it shows you, It's like,
Like there's.
es como los
Oh my gosh.
antibacteriales.
It's like
you know,
signing up a
the-
jet ski. Like, go ahead and have fun, but there's a possibility you might break.
You might
your
die. Yeah, exactly.
It's just like a jet
Yes.
ski. It's, sign the waiver, man. Sign the
Everything.
waiver.
There's
Like, go have
waivers.
fun. Go have as much sex as you have. Just know she might get pregnant.
When we had that four-wheeler
Interesting.
and the kids were riding and the jóvenes were riding, we were about to have people sign waivers because the kids were so
Those
crazy.
kids, yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, so it's
Wow.
never 100% secure.
Wow, we've learned something here today on the podcast. Yeah, we're together, so it's
Yeah.
interesting.
So like going back, it's in the Bible.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, God left it. Obviamente, como decimos, cuando lo haces en el matrimonio.
Yeah,
Estamos hablando del sexo en el matrimonio. Es algo puro, es algo que sí es permitido hacerlo. No es un pecado hacer sexo en el matrimonio.
If we tell that to the kids, why is it a sin to do it when the kids are present in the house?
No, es que no es un sin.
No, not a sin, but I mean you're trying to hide it. You're trying to hide it, right?
I'm just saying it's kind of like disrespectful.
You think so?
Yeah,
You guys might disagree. There might be people on here that watch and they're just like, okay, we're putting the cowboy hat on our door. Like, no entren cuando está
No,
el cowboy hat on the door.
nobody need to know your business.
Yeah, then definitely. Yeah. There's definitely behind closed doors for sure.
Yeah, ain't nobody need to know your business,
It sounds like
pobrecitos.
we're spreading our business out there to everybody.
I mean, you are.
No, we're not. We're not.
You are. Pero nobody needs to know your business. Keep it quiet,
Yeah, keep it private. Yeah, no, it's definitely something between, obviously.
It's just being respectful to your kids.
Correct. Husband, wife, and God. That's where it should be, right? So
Yeah.
that's why it's also really good. We've talked about too, and we've done this too.
Ahora,
Going to hotels and just having our time. Having our time.
ahora, si estamos hablando de cariños, un beso, una caricia,
Bien.
then eso sí es necesario que tus hijos lo miren.
Sí.
para que puedan ver, oh, mi papá o mi mamá se abrazan, o, you
Yeah.
know, they do this, para
And
que
that's good
ellos...
para que cuando ellos sean grandes hagan lo mismo, ¿no?
Exactamente,
Hagan lo
sí.
mismo.
Eso es algo que también como matrimonio, ¿qué clase de esposa? Porque siempre oramos, ¿verdad? Siempre oramos, oh Señor, ¿cómo se llama? Que se casen con alguien bueno, ¿verdad? Pero what about your kids? Like, your kids, you need to pray for them, que ellos sean buenos esposos o una buena esposa. You know, you don't want tu hija que estén hablando mal de ella porque no es una mujer limpia o no es una mujer que hace su aseo en la casa. You don't want people to talk about that,
Yeah.
you know. So you also have to, I mean, I guess I sidetracked it, pero con respecto a lo que tus hijos, you know, tienes que también criar a tus hijos, sean buenos esposos y buenas esposas, you know.
Yeah.
De esa misma manera que, you know, oh, mi papá la abraza, la besa, oh, mi papá llevaba a mi mamá, you know, a dates day yesterday. Benjamin, it was funny because Benjamin was like, oh, what are you guys doing tomorrow? Are you guys going to go on your date? Sí me
So he
dijo.
knows Mondays is our date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys
They
going to
don't
go on
watch
your
this podcast or anything, so it's like,
Are you guys going to go
hey,
on
we
your
can talk
date? I
about
was like,
whatever.
no, puppy.
No,
We're not
yeah.
going to go. We're going to, you know.
Yeah, we'll just stay sex and mosh. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You had to say it.
Best day ever. It's just sex. It's okay. Like we said, it can be known that we are a couple that love each other, and yes, we do have sex because we're a couple and we love
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
You know, we've been married for 19 years,
19 years.
so praise the Lord. And it's like God is so good. He's been so good to us. You know what I mean? But nothing better than a couple that's married, can love, and then having breakfast.
And then after having breakfast.
Yes,
And
yes.
mosh, your
Amazing.
favorite dish.
Amazing. That's actually my favorite breakfast. So, yes.
Mosh. Pero sí, you know, es algo que tus hijos lo tienen que ver, man. You have to teach them that.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
And they have to, you know, learn how to be good husbands and good wives.
absolutely.
Definitely. So I don't think es algo que se tiene que hablar
Yeah.
en la iglesia.
And the perception that, like, we were taught, I mean, here's the thing. Your mom and dad, I think the mom is responsible to show the daughter, and the dad is responsible to show the dad and teach them about sex and marriage. Did your mom ever have a conversation with you?
No,
Never, right?
no.
They're old school. They're old school in the way
Yeah.
they think, and
Mhm.
they've never had a conversation with you. My dad taught me the wrong concept of sex. Obviously, when we were 8 years old, he showed us pornography and he says, this is how you treat a woman. And that's obviously wrong. To this day, I continue saying that it is wrong. It's a wrong perception of women, wrong reality and expectation of what sex really is.
Fantasy.
It's a fantasy. It's not correct. So a lot of stuff is self-taught. But if you're raised in a Christian home, I really do feel like my son Benji, I'm gonna have a talk with him the day of his wedding, you know, and explain to him, listen, this is how you're gonna satisfy your woman. You know, you have to hold it till she has multiple orgasms, and then you can feel pleasure. You know, I think that's probably number one key. You know, other than
You'll teach
other
him.
thing.
Yeah,
I'll
you'll
teach
teach
him.
him.
I'll
Yeah.
teach him. You know, and then I think one of the things that you'll probably say to our daughter, because they're not gonna watch this. They're not gonna watch. I don't think I'll let them watch it.
No, I mean, definitely just have your husband happy, you know, in that area, you know,
Yeah.
and si los dos están de acuerdo, then it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
But you also need to speak out and tell him, hey, listen, I don't feel comfortable with this. And I'm sure he loves you. He'll respect that,
Yeah.
you know, and eventually, maybe in the future, you'll be okay with it. But there has to be some respect too, you know, but you have to have your husband satisfied.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just part of life, you know, teaching your kids. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I
whole
think it
thing,
is
so-
really, I think it's
But I
really
think a lot of,
important.
but I think like your parents or like parents that are very traditional, like no, they'll learn about it on their own. I think that's kind of doing your kids a disservice because you're not really teaching them the correct way to do it by the book. Especially if you're Christian, I think that it's important to show your kids the right way because your parents form you or did they form you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And so I would talk to them in the Book of Solomon, Song of Solomon, Cantares. How it talks about, you know, besando las fuentes, and it gets very erotic. Ese sí es libro erótico, mira, ese sí es erótico, el libro de los Cantares,
No
Song of
exótico.
Solomon. That's an erotic book.
No exótico.
No, it's erotic book. Song of Solomon is the kamasutra of the Bible. like for real. It's the Christian kamasutra. we never read kamasutra. Just obviously we have knowledge that it's out there, right? Yeah, you gotta clarify. Like, how do you know about that, pastor? Like, what? But it's the Christian book. So go read it. You know what I mean? It talks about breasts. It talks about fountains. It talks about all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? So like I said, as long as they're most en mutuo acuerdo, if they're in the same page and they're both okay with it, then you're good. You know what I mean? Have fun with it. And I think marriage and sex was something that God created to have fun with. You know what I mean? It is a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Mhm.
So, make time for that pleasure because it's something
Pero
that
isn't
God
it
left.
crazy de que Dios lo dejó?
Yeah. Yeah, he
Y
said,
es un placer y Dios lo dejó.
yeah, it's so great that it has double purpose. It's a pleasure, but then it's
Ajá,
also for creating kids.
ajá.
Why do you think we're kind of getting in God's headspace?
Ah.
Why do you think he did that? Why do you like? Well, listen, when you guys aren't having kids, have fun. Like if you're not having kids,
Yeah,
have fun.
because remember, God is not, He thinks about everybody.
Yeah. But like, it's funny though. It's crazy. I still don't know the answer. Maybe you might know the answer to this, right? But so he made it for procreation, of course, para que reproduzcamos. But why would he add the pleasure part in there for us to enjoy it? You know what I mean? Just for us to have a
Yeah.
connection, something to do together. You know what I mean? Enjoyable activity together.
Yeah. Because it connects you.
Yeah, it does connect you.
It
So
connects you.
there's the answer for the connection,
It
right?
connects you because, como dice en Génesis, conoció a Adán, conoció a Eva, ¿no?
Sí,
Eso es lo que dice,
sí.
right?
Yeah, and all the Old Testament books was like, la conoció. I guess that's a way of getting to know you. And it's a way of you getting to know me. Intimacy.
Mhm.
See. And think about that in a marriage way, right? Nobody else knows you
No.
like the way your spouse does.
Mhm. I mean, no.
Is that crazy that like when people first get married, they're scared to see their spouse, like they're scared that their spouse will see them naked,
Yeah.
run in the morning naked. There's noises, there's sound effects today. There's
Yeah,
sound
I know. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And then after
I'm
later,
sure there's still
later you're
people.
just like, I don't care.
No, but you know what? There's still people that
Are very
después,
self-conscious
yeah,
about their body.
después de tantos años,
Están like, ay, no me mires desnuda.
yeah, they still have that. I don't know
No me
if it's
mires
because
desnuda.
self-conscious o porque tienen algún tipo de respeto entre ellos,
Yeah.
you know? I don't know. Hay gente que sí todavía es así,
Cierto,
you know?
cierto.
Hay gente que es así, pero es como decimos, ¿quién no conoce más a una persona más que tu esposo o tu esposa?
Yeah, it's beautiful, you know what I mean? So,
En eso te conecta.
yeah,
Eso te conecta. Eso que tú dices, like, oh, it's
it's
beautiful.
a deeper connection
It is.
because obviously nobody else knows you like that. You know what I mean? So
Exacto.
no te han visto
Es
tú
como
en
cuando,
intimidad.
digamos, por
Your
ejemplo,
flaws and then also your perfections and imperfections.
ujú. Y eso es lo que tú tienes que aprender a amar todos los días. You know, es que como decíamos la vez pasada, son decisiones que tomamos, ¿verdad? It's a choice that we take to love each other each day.
Yeah, you stay.
You know, y eso te conecta, eso te mantiene. Es como, por ejemplo, ¿verdad? La persona, el marido o el esposo o la esposa ya no quieren tener sexo. Algo tiene que estar pasando ahí,
Yeah, something's going on.
you
Something's
know,
going on.
porque entonces o ella está conociendo a alguien más
Yeah.
o él está conociendo a alguien más.
I'm gonna put it right here on Facebook, wherever this is going, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. When the person no tiene fotos de su cónyuge, su esposo o esposa, it's a red flag. Es una bandera roja. Something's happening there. Worse if they're not having sex.
Well, I mean,
Algo está
yeah.
pasando. So.
O el hombre es mañoso o la mujer
Yeah,
es mañosa.
it definitely could be that. So it could be
O son cosas, áreas que tiene que
trabajar.
trabajar.
Yeah, definitivamente.
You know,
So,
y es muy difícil.
and then also how pornography affects the marriage too. You know,
Yeah.
if a man's addicted to pornography, it will affect. You know, there'll be a longer period of no sex. Or what could be something that stops a woman from having sex with her husband? I like asking you questions. What would be?
I know. Why
Well-
do you like asking me
Well, you shouldn't be asking me questions, and I should be asking you questions. You don't ask me questions.
No, I think,
Yeah, ask me a question.
wait, say the question again.
What would keep a woman from not having sex with her husband?
Oh, yeah.
That would be more
Pornography.
pornography. Okay.
Yeah. Because then,
Well, what else?
Huh?
What else besides pornography? Being mad at him?
Oh. I mean, if you go there, yeah, definitely estás enojado con tu esposo. Yeah, you're like, oh, whatever. I'm not gonna.
Also, this is another topic that we should have. And these things son buenas cosas que deberíamos también hablar con nuestra iglesia, obviamente nuestros miembros y todo, de que no debería ser una armadura o una herramienta para castigar a tu esposo. It shouldn't. It shouldn't,
Yeah.
because if you're mad, should it be separate? You know what I mean? Should it be separate than thing? It's kind of one of those things como, por ejemplo, si like, la pareja está enojada. Like, si tú vas en público, castigas a tu esposo en público, like, ay, no, yo estoy enojado con él, no voy a actuar bien alrededor de él. You know what I mean? No voy a estar enojada con todos porque él me hizo. No, right?
No.
Pero a la misma vez, guardando rencor, es como la mujer puede agarrar eso y usarlo en contra del
Mm.
hombre.
Mhm.
Y tampoco no creo que eso es saludable también porque lo puede provocar a ir al hombre y el hombre puede hacer algo individuo too. So I think there's two things, right? So it's crazy. There's a lot that goes into that.
Yeah.
Hemos visto hasta parejas, que no han tenido sexo por mucho tiempo, sí, por si no adicción a pornografía o si no puede ser de que la mujer está enojada y lo tienen ayuno because of that. Does that make sense?
Ya, no, sí, sí,
Yeah.
sí. Y es muy tremendo porque sí se mira en muchos hogares, ¿verdad? Que sufren mucho de eso sobre la pornografía, ¿verdad? Y es algo que definitivamente tienen que buscar ayuda y ponérselo en las manos del Señor, ¿verdad? Y poder expresarlo para que puedan alcanzar misericordia y sanidad en esa área que están pasando.
Yeah, and porn obviously kills intimacy y es malo para la sociedad. So it's like those two things. Bad for intimacy and then also para la society. So
Ese sexo sí es la clase de sexo que no es agradable ante los ojos de
it's an
Dios.
undefiled marriage bad.
Sí, porque ahí sí estás pensando simplemente en tu placer.
Yeah,
You're being selfish.
exactly. Let's talk about crazy places you had sex. Please leave in the comments where's the craziest place you've had sex. A ver si alguien lo hace.
I don't think nobody's gonna do it.
People are too shy. Can we talk about
Mm.
where it's been craziest place for us?
In the car, no?
No, bad memory, I guess.
Yes, I do have
Bad
bad
memory?
memory, babe.
Come on, sound effects.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean?
People aren't
this.
gonna want to swim anymore
This
in the ocean.
is the in a pool will be worse because there's a community pool or something. The ocean is the ocean. The ocean is billions of miles. It's
No
the craziest
recordaba de
place.
ese.
Yeah, whatever.
No me recordaba.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, anyway, so I think most married couples have probably ever experienced it in a car. But yeah, how late in marriage do you think people go having sex? What age do you think they stop having
Yeah.
sex?
No, I have no idea.
You have
I
no
mean,
idea?
probably something that we could have searched, but
Yes, you can Google it real quick.
yeah.
Because while I tell this story, my brother would ask my abuelito, my grandpa of 85 years old, "Hey, abuelito, you still get it on with my abuela?"
Oh my God.
He said yes. He said yes. He said yes. He would still get it on with my abuela. So it's crazy, but you think about it, and biblically speaking, Abraham and his wife were still having sex, and they were like 90, 80 years old. Bro, people still have sex till 80 years old. I'm sure after like 50, you need Viagra or something. I'm pretty sure que necesitan Viagra después de los 50 or something, 50? Los viejitos, comenten. Comenten. Maybe after 40 too, with stress and everything,
Around 75 to 85 years of age.
¿Ya vieron? Sí. So todavía tienen sexo los hombres de los 85 años y las mujeres de 85 años. That's incredible. So we talked about everything. We talked about from like our parents, what they taught us, to our kids, how we're going to teach them sex. We talked about also hasta qué edad debemos de tener sexo. See, that's crazy, right? You didn't know that.
No.
We got a good 45 years left in us.
Yeah, baby.
Let's get it out. Ow!
Yeah.
That's funny. Ow! Ow!
What is that?
Today is the sound effects. I'm so sorry. Today's the sound effects.
Oh my God.
Sound effects. Sound effects. Sound effects. Anyway, so
No, but it's something beautiful.
yeah, it is. It really is. We're being too silly.
Yeah, definitivamente lo estamos hablando en el aspecto, bueno, tú eres un poco, pero
Now yo soy explícito. Do you remember when our daughter saw our dog humping the pillow for the first time?
oh yeah, it was
She
nasty.
freaked out.
Yeah, that thing was nasty.
She freaked out.
I even
No.
freaked out. It
You
was
had never,
nasty.
you had never seen a dog
No,
do the dirty.
yes, pero
Not the dirty way.
yeah, it was just nasty. It wasn't,
So
no.
Kiko acting all innocent there, like nothing's ever happened. So he's neutered. Pero he got into a phase where as a puppy, he just started humping everything and his pillows. I mean, his bed was a famous one, su cama. And my daughter freaked out. She freaked
She
out. Like she
freaked
went
out.
crazy. She was like, ah, ah, pillow. Like it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
crazy. It was
She freaked
crazy.
out. She
So
freaked
I'm
out.
sure some people are gonna freak out when they see this YouTube podcast. They'll be like,
Yeah,
"Oh my God, los pastores están hablando del sexo."
yeah.
Yeah,
Pero es algo que se tiene que hablar.
needs to be spoken. I feel like we should
Yeah.
also ask some other questions to people in the audience, or like, what else can we talk about sex today that maybe isn't talked about? Let's think about that for a minute.
Simplemente, ¿verdad? Que traten de hablarlo, ¿verdad? No es algo, eh, no es pecado, man. It's,
No, no,
you
it's
know,
not.
it's algo sano en el matrimonio, es algo hermoso.
Matrimonio.
Es algo hermoso. Como decís, es tremendo porque cuando vimos esas conexiones antes del sexo, como esas personas se cambiaban, ¿verdad? Es algo que uno tiene que tener mucho cuidado, ¿verdad? Con quién anda metiéndose, ¿verdad? Tienes que tener, trata de tener ese dominio propio antes de casarte, ¿verdad?
Ya. Y son experiencias que a veces pueden ser malas, que te dejan una mala espina para cuando Dios te
Yeah,
quiere preparar para algo bien, algo puro,
exacto. Yeah.
algo lo que es thing. I love it que
Ujú.
una pareja que conocimos that they hadn't even kissed before they got married. So everything they were experiencing on their marriage they was new.
That's great.
Everything was new. I mean, it was a new pact because it was kissed for the first time. It was probably touched for the first time. It was having sex for the first time. And I just remember the words that came out of her mouth when we said, like, how has it been? Several months later, like, marriage is very raw, is what they said. So there's no filter. There's no filter. It's very raw. You know, obviously, it's literally down to the bare nakedness.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. So, but it's raw. It's all raw. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah,
That's crazy.
interesting.
Yeah, pero definitivamente no se habla mucho, ¿verdad? Porque nosotros venimos de una generación donde nuestros padres
Taboo. Yeah.
no lo hablaban,
No hablaban.
¿verdad? No lo hablaban. Pero ahora la generación que está ahora, ¿verdad? Yo creo que sí, ellos mismos tal vez lo preguntan o porque lo miran, ¿verdad? Porque lo miran obviamente en social media, se
Yeah.
abren mucho los ojos de los jóvenes, ¿verdad? Y hay que tener mucho cuidado con eso.
And then the thing is, I still feel like we didn't even mention, like, sometimes you have to get more into, not more detail, but you have to teach them the proper way, you know, the proper way. And it's obviously in between the marriage bed. It's between the marriage bed. Undefiled marriage bed. That's the best sex you would ever have on planet Earth inside God's will.
Yes.
Inside God's will is the best sex that exists out there. I'm saying this publicly. Best sex is the one that's inside God's will because it's making love. It's making love, right? So, um,
That's crazy.
yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
good.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? It sounded good. It sounded good. It sounded really good.
It sounded
It
good.
sounded really good.
Yeah, it was nice. That was nice.
Yeah, yeah. We should probably end the podcast there because I was gonna compare sex
you
to
gonna
pizza.
cry?
I was gonna compare sex to pizza, but I think I'll ruin it. I think I'll ruin it.
No, you ruined the mood there.
And be like he said something so beautiful, and then he just ruined it. Just ruined it.
Sexy pizza.
I think we'll end it there. I think that
You
was
said sexy
well,
pizza.
sex and pizza.
Oh my gosh,
It's
babe.
delicious. It's hot. I had a whole thing. I had a whole
No,
thing.
don't say it. Don't say it, please.
No, I'm just kidding.
Keep it Christian, please. Keep it Christian. Okay, keep it Christian.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
so
yeah.
2 to 3 times a week is probably recommended. That's
Mm,
what they say. 2 to 3 times a week
mhm.
is what they say. I mean, some people sometimes it's like 2 to 3 times a month. I mean, I don't know, but everybody's different. But normally once, twice a week is probably norm between a married couple. I think I would say. So I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna finish off our podcast here today. Leave us your comments, like, subscribe, and yeah, maybe we'll come back and do a part 2 later about sex. Maybe we'll have a little bit more to talk about. But yeah, awesome. We'll see you guys later. Yeah, from Viviendo Life. I was gonna say Creative Life Studios. I was gonna say Creative Life Studios. Promoting sex. Wow. You can tell I work a lot. You can tell Viviendo Life Podcast. See
Bye,
you later.
guys.